Hello everyone and welcome to Halo Xplored, our not so new series anymore. We're already like, what is this, 3 episodes in, I guess? 4, this is 4. Anyways, on our our series on X to Interact, where we rank and review each mainline Halo game up to the release of Halo Infinite. Today I'm your host Eric and I'm joined by Steven, Gaff, and Sam as we're here to review Halo 3 ODST. If you like what you see, please follow us on Twitter at xinteract_ to get the latest news and updates on our videos, like when we post them, or like just funny shit we post on there. You know, like we're doing TikToks now too. Follow us on there. But yeah, that's that. So before we get into Halo 3 ODST, like, what's your guys' quick thoughts on the game?
Great spin-off, great at atmosphere, a worthy game. But I feel like I'm the only one of us that likes it this much.
No, you're not. This game's great.
It's a great game.
I may have overstated that. This game's good.
Okay.
I think it's great. I don't think it's amazing like a 3 or 2, but I think it's great. I think it was just a little underdeveloped, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I like it. I don't have like.
No, you don't.
Hey, whoa.
You skipped the thing that made this game like different.
Listen, we don't talk about that, all right?
You didn't even know Romeo got stabbed.
We're getting a little too ahead of ourselves here, guys. We didn't even get into the plot yet.
It's a good game. I like it.
Jeez, you guys like interrupting me, like going down my throat before I even get to say what I want to say. Jesus.
It's not amazing to you, so it's garbage to you.
No, it's just I think for me at this point, like we've been playing these Halo games back to back so much. At this point, I'm like, yeah, let me get this done with so we can do this. Like, I don't hate the game, but it's just me being like getting semi burnt out at this point, especially because like now we're getting to the big fall of games where we want to play everything else. So I'm just like, okay, let's just play it on easy. And I only skipped, disclaimer, I skipped the New Mombasa open world parts because last time I played it, I didn't enjoy those sections, to be honest. So luckily the Master Chief Collection has like a playlist you can do where it's just all the main missions, and that's what I did.
Okay.
So yeah, crucify me down in the comments. Do it. I dare you. But anyways, let's get into like the facts and development here. More like the development because I didn't really write much. I had a long week. Halo 3 ODST released on September 22nd, 2009 on the Xbox 360 and is the 4th installment in the Halo franchise. The game was re-released as DLC for the Master Chief Collection on Xbox in May 2015 and then later brought to PC in September 22nd, 2020, 11 years after the original release date. Fun fact. Instead of playing as Master Chief, players take the role of the Orbital Drop Shop Troopers, aka the ODSTs, during and after the events of Halo 2. Players explore the city of New Mombasa to discover what happened to their missing teammates in the midst of a Covenant invasion. So before ODST, the development team was working on Peter Jackson's Halo Chronicles during Halo 3's development. However, due to a failed Halo film adaptation and the cancellation of Halo Chronicles, this sizable team no longer had a project to work on. When Halo Reach began development, Bungie had noticed there was a window of time for the studio to create about a 2 or 3 hour mini campaign as described by producer Curtis Creamer. The project was given a green light by the studio head Harold Ryan after looking over the proposal and the budget.
What a missed opportunity. Peter Jackson doing anything related to Halo. What the hell?
Who's this Peter Jackson?
He made some short film about elves, I heard.
Like orcs, I thought.
It was a documentary.
God damn it. Almost had a Halo movie many times.
Right.
With the game engine already established from Halo 3, the team began honing in on the concept. Bungie was interested in bringing changes to the classic Halo formula, which had remained unchanged for the past 3 games. The team spent weeks deciding on which characters they wanted to focus on. Playing as Master Chief or Arbiter would have brought expectations and story baggage. A Covenant-themed story around an elite strike force was considered at one point, but instead, the team decided to focus on human characters. While Johnson was considered at one point, they settled on ODSTs due to being fan favorites. But, like, give me that Johnson game, man.
Nah.
He's in it.
ODST is much better choice.
But, like, Johnson. You don't want Johnson?
He's in it.
Yeah, for, like, one scene.
Yeah, and it's one of the best Halo scenes of all time.
You're not wrong with that.
Fucker gets a cigar lit for him by an alien. It's awesome.
Story director Joseph Staten said that we never really got inside the ODSTs, and that the game would be the opportunity to flesh them out. Gameplay changes were required to preserve the classic Halo gameplay formula, while also branching it out in new directions. Silence weapons were added in a revamped pistol, where attempts to split the functionality of the battle rifle and to give the ODSTs more unique armaments. The SMG was made louder to make it feel more powerful. A health mechanic was added to provide tension as it reminded you that you're vulnerable, as Staten stated. New Mombasa was decided on to be the setting due to fans wanting to know what happened on Earth after being, quote, shortchanged in Halo 2. Bungie felt that New Mombasa's urban environments fit the intended feel of the game, as different protagonists required a change in location. Because production lasted only 14 months, ODST was the first Bungie title completed in less than 3 years, with its development beginning in March of 2008. The team numbered around 70 people, had a small development window, and they had to prioritize features rather than redesigning enemies. Due to the game's open world nature, gameplay had to be tweaked as it was different from other Halo games. Weapons would have to be revamped, an overhead map would be needed, and new AI behaviors would be needed to accommodate the fact that you could attack enemies from different areas than like normal Halo games. So like, you know how normally you would just like follow a straight path and like the enemies would kind of react to that. They would have to change that up so you can approach from like any angle basically. But anyways, firefight was added later into the game. A prototype, surprisingly, I didn't know this. A prototype was built shortly after Halo 3 shipped, and when ODST was in development, the concept was adopted and refined. So, like, it was pretty cool that they had this like in mind before ODST shipped. Probably could have been like something like DLC if like DLC was more popular back then. By December 2008, the game was playable from start to finish. However, aspects of it were still unfinished. The entire Bungie staff was pulled from other duties to play through the game and offer feedback. The game was completed just before its E3 2009 presentation. So yeah, there's that. There's a lot more in detail of this, but I just try to keep it condensed. Like obviously, like the music had to be different because it's not the same as normal Halo music is. It's more like a little bit like more jazz like, and I appreciate it because like I don't know. After Persona 5, like I appreciated jazz in like video games a lot more.
It's very somber and
Yeah, I was gonna say, was this the same composer then?
yeah,
Yes.
it was Marty O'Donnell.
It did a great job, honestly. That was
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my big takeaways so far.
I just want to say, you touched on the vulnerability and the weapons, and I just love how this game makes you feel not like a super soldier because you're not. You're an ODST. You're a badass, but you're just like you're at peak human shape, but you're still a human. I think the jump height got reduced in this game because I don't feel like I jump as high. And yeah, when you're injured and your screen goes all red, like in traditional FPS games, I felt scared and I felt like I had to retreat and recover and find a health pack. I love the new weapons, the silenced SMG. Like I'll talk about it later when we talk about our favorite guns, but yeah, a banger of a gun. And the pistol for once is actually good. It hasn't been good since Halo Combat Evolved. So shout out to ODST.
I
Yeah,
wanted to touch on like, was this a gameplay thing where some of the characters could pick up the turrets and detach them and some couldn't? Was I imagining that?
I don't know. I picked up a turret once.
I
I
did
don't
it a
know.
couple times and I tried with like different characters and it wouldn't like work.
Hmm.
I think Romeo was able to. Anyways, I'll touch on that in weapons. But yeah, I like how they had the different weapons and it just really made you feel it gave you the boots on the ground feel. Like I don't know, it was still sci-fi related, but I feel like having the setting and the somber music to accompany with it really gave to this like, all right, some shit just went down, and now you're here to damage control and like assess the situation essentially. I don't know. I kind of liked it a lot, but yeah.
And like you're alone in
Hmm.
this city that is taken over by the Covenant, and you're searching for your teammates who may or may not be dead, and you're like finding these clues and kind of like reassembling the story from everything you can find and extrapolate. And it's almost like, I mean, it's not really a murder mystery, but
It is though, kind of.
I guess if you're
Yeah.
presuming that they're dead, then yeah, you're kind of like figuring out how they died.
Just the whole city feels like very noir. Like it's dark. There's the
Rainy.
jazz music. It's
The
raining.
visor.
All like the not really neon lights, but I get neon lights. The aesthetic of the city levels is just so cool.
And you can find the audio logs scattered throughout the city that really adds to the
Yeah.
atmosphere because it's like
Mhm.
people like just living their lives and then they die right as like the invasion happens.
Someone trying to get on the train, leaving it, right, and having an issue there.
It's
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah, I did. I did like how Sam said it was like a more noir base because even though I said I didn't play New Bossa Street, I did hop in for like a little bit in one of the missions to just like get the feel again. And I do like how it's like more at nighttime instead of like how normally like we're just playing in like the daytime and other Halo games. I do like how you have the night vision visor to see all the stuff there. Um, the open world like portion of it, I wasn't my favorite just because of how long it takes to get this stuff. But like that's a thing I'll get into later. But for now, Gaff, do you want to explore that plot with us?
So this game takes place during and after Halo 2. Specifically, right as the prophet of who was he? Mercy? Right as Mercy leaves Earth in a giant slip space stream, and Reina Keys and the UNSC Amber and Cloud follow it through. As that happens, a big shockwave ripples through the city and obviously causes a lot of damage, including to our ODST squad. So we play in the perspective of the rookie, and that's his only name. The rookie doesn't talk. The rookie doesn't really have any character traits. Is a silent protagonist, a blank slate for us, the player, to like immerse ourselves in. So we start the game, and the rookie's asleep, and he's woken up by Buck, played by none other than Nathan Fillion. What a
Wait, are you
character,
serious?
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
voice
god.
actor.
This game
Cade
is
6,
amazing.
baby. Dude,
I did not know that.
they have a good working relationship with him. Bungie does. He plays that like avant-garde kind of character who just like kicks ass and is like suave, I guess, at the same time. So
Definitely. And also, we're introduced to the rest of the team, and that includes Veronica Dare, Dutch, Romeo, Mickey, and obviously us, Rookie. Yeah, most of these characters, they're soldiers in there. They're making wisecracks, and they got banter, and they're a bunch of macho ODSTs that take no shit from anyone. That's about it. I don't think their personalities are anything to write home about. They're just there to move the story along. Anyway, Veronica Dare has a mission for them. Oh, and I should say, Veronica Dare, she and Buck, they got a prior existing relationship, but there's some tension now because she's an Oni operative. And in case you don't know, Oni is kind of like the CIA in the Halo universe. They do a bunch of shady spy shit, so no one really likes them or trusts them. So Dare has a mission for all of them. So they have to go into the city. So they get into the drop pods and they go drop down, and there's some more talking, and then that's the moment where the prophet of mercy goes through the portal, and a big
Actually,
shock
I think
happens.
it's sorry. I think it's Prophet of Regret, right? Because
Oh, it's regret.
yeah,
It's
because Mercy got killed by the flood in Halo 2, if I remember correctly, right?
My bad. Thank you. So the prophet of mercy creates a shockwave, and it destabilizes the trajectory of the drop pods, and so the whole team scatters. The rookie wakes up several hours later in the middle of the city, which has now been overrun by Covenant and is pretty much abandoned. He gets out of his pod. He's alone, and no one's responding to him. So he's got to go into the city and find his teammates. And he's only armed with a silenced SMG, which is a badass gun. And so, as the rookie, we're walking through the city, and immediately it's very scary. It's rainy. It's dark. Everyone's dead. You have like these computerized machines just talking to you as if the city's still functioning. Like it's telling you to don't cross the crosswalk yet, or there are stop signs and telling you to stop.
or the med kit one where it's like guaranteed 100% great service or your money back, you know.
Yeah, it's very, very eerie, and I love this game for that. And so, as the rookie, we're trying to find all these clues to extrapolate what happened to our team, and it ends up taking us all across the city. And along the way, we gotta fight some covenants. It's very tough, but you make it out, and as you take each of the clues that pertain to your team, you get taken to this sort of flashback where you play as your team members. And so I won't go over the nitty gritty for each one. I'll just say that every team member gets a mission. You play as Buck, you play as Dutch, Mickey, Romeo. Some of them are together, even. The bare bones storyline of it all is that Buck, he's really trying to figure out why Dare sent them on this mission, and so he meets up with other teammates, and they're blasting Covenant. They're taking back the city. At some point, you're in a warthog. Another time, you're in a scorpion tank, and that's awesome. Most of them meet up. One of them gets shot in the chest, I believe, and it's very bad. And I use some biofoam to seal up the hole, which apparently Eric doesn't figure out why that makes sense.
Stabbed in the chest.
Stabbed, yeah.
And it's Romeo. It's not one of them. Come on, they have names.
I'm sorry. They eventually hijack a Phantom, which is pretty cool. Apparently, they got simulators in case they ever need to do this exact scenario. So that's pretty awesome. They hijack the Phantom and they're gonna go find Veronica Dare and get her out of the city because this city is gonna get glassed. And once that happens, everyone still in the city is gonna die.
I love that level, by the way, where you steal the Phantom and you're in a Banshee. Love it.
Yeah. The rookie who, once he gets to this final clue about his team, he then responds to this final beacon and it leads him to this underground site beneath the city and eventually gets him into radio contact with Veronica Dare. And so Dare's in here, so I guess we gotta meet up with her and save her because she says she's in trouble. So we're going through these underground tunnels, and there's Covenant in there too. We're blasting away. It's just cool that there's this giant underground complex beneath the city, and apparently, this city is run by a dumb AI called Superintendent, and allegedly, this is the mission that Dare was assigned to recover this AI. And so we finally meet her in the very deepest level of the city. Dare, I wouldn't say she's happy to see us, but she's glad to have a teammate with her. And then we discover exactly what her mission is. It's not to recover the AI per se, but it's to recover this alien that has consumed the AI. This alien is called, in the game, it's just called the package. The lore name for it is called the Hugarok. And I believe this is the first time we're introduced to this alien species in the Covenant. The role of this alien in the Covenant, they're like the engineers. They take things apart and they fix them, and they're really, really good at it. They're not really evil. They're not benevolent. They're just trying to do their own thing, which is kind of sad and adorable at the same time. They're not a warfaring species. They just want to fix shit. And they're kind of cute in a way because they're these giant floating gas sacks with tentacles, and their head is just like this blue tentacle with black beady eyes. Yeah, and you just want to pet it. But apparently they smell really bad. This alien has, yeah, as I said, consumed the Superintendent AI and now contains not only the city's information, but in of itself, it has a whole lot of information on the Covenant. And so that makes it a very, very valuable piece of intel. And so that's why Dare has to extract it and has enlisted the rookie to help. And so they fight back out. And it's cool because the alien provides a sort of buff to you because you finally get shields in this game. So shout out to that. You eventually meet up with Buck. Buck helps you escape. Buck and Veronica Dare, they share a kiss, which is very sweet and cliche. And then once they get to the surface level, they get to the highway, and they gotta fight through the highway. And so Veronica takes the alien into this giant tanker machine, and they're just slowly trudging the way through the highway. And then Buck utters what many consider to be the most iconic line in the Halo series: "Sam, can you give it?"
If you ever fall for a woman, make sure she's got balls.
Take my advice, rookie. You ever fall for a woman? Make sure she's got balls.
Words to live by.
Mm-hmm.
So then Buck and the rookie, they get into a warthog and you're killing stuff. Eventually upgrade to a Gosshog, which is, I think, like the best vehicle in the entire game, entire series. And then after that, you upgrade to a Scorpion tank and you're wrecking. You make it to the end of the highway. You get.
I hate this level, by the way.
It's too long.
Really?
It's so
Yeah.
long.
Okay.
Like the highway's so long. Like
There are a lot
oh
of
my
highway
God.
sections, and they're all kind of identical. I see what you mean. Then you get to the end of the line, and you gotta make your last stand while you wait for your other guys and the Phantom to come pick you up. And so you're fending off waves and waves with Covenant, but eventually you succeed, and the Phantom is there, and you make a run for it. There's this nice humorous scene where Darren and Bucky, they have to push the alien into the grav lift to get into the Phantom, because I guess the alien just sees another Covenant ship and is very hesitant to get back in there. But they eventually do. Everyone gets on the ship. They fly away just as the Covenant begin glassing the city. That's the end of the main game, I believe. Cut to after the credits, and we see Veronica Dare talking to none other than Sergeant Avery Johnson, still smoking a cigar. And he's been given clearance by Lord Admiral Hood to have a conversation with the alien. So they enter the room, and the whole crew is there. Fun fact: the rookie is sleeping under the stairs during this scene. He seems to be very fond of sleeping in this game.
I don't
And
blame
not
you.
talking.
And not talking. Johnson talks to the alien, and he likes it. He lights a cigar, which is very dangerous because the alien is very flammable. So that could have easily gone horribly wrong, but
Which
it's
makes
okay.
it even more badass.
The alien lights the cigar for him, and they agree to help each other out. The end. And that's the end of Halo 3 ODST. And the legendary ending is the Prophet of Truth. He's smiling because he's found like the artifact beneath the earth, what they're digging for, and that obviously that leads to the giant portal that sends them to the Ark in Halo 3. I just got some fun facts for you.
Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Wait, Eric, want to give me your signature transition to the fun facts?
All right, Gaff. Thanks for exploring the plot with us. Now explore them facts for us, please.
I will. I got some fun facts for you. First one, there are no enemy elites in the game for you to fight against. However, there are several bodies of elites scattered throughout New Mombasa, killed by brutes during the Great Schism, if you didn't know that.
I didn't. Thank you, Gaff.
All right, you're welcome. If
For
you play on
educating me.
Legendary, the rookie will have a picture of his girlfriend inside his drop pod, which is actually a picture of an engineer in Bungie. Next fact. Speaking of the rookie, his initials are JD, which also means John Doe. And in case you want to know what happens to the rookie after the events of Halo 3 ODST, the rookie is killed when the team goes to stop an insurrectionist rebellion. Rookie is taken hostage and has his knees shot. The team comes to rescue him, but Mickey hesitates on the trigger, and Rookie is shot in the head. It's very sad and tragic.
What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't
And
know
then-
about this at all.
And then in a comic that leads to Halo 4, Buck, he's very sad and he's drinking. And then a recruiter from the UNSC for the Spartan 4 program comes to recruit Buck. And they have a conversation. And then the recruiter laments that Rookie would have been eligible for the Spartan 4 program. So that's sad. That's very, very sad.
No.
The marketing campaign included a live action commercial for the ODST training program. And do yourselves a favor and watch this commercial because it is the closest we'll get to a Halo movie besides maybe Halo 4 Unto Dawn. And then, Steven, you're going to like this. In the original version of this game, there's a poster that shows the moon with a line of text underneath that says, Destiny awaits. This moon is a traveler and teases Bungie's next game, Destiny. But unfortunately, in the Master Chief Collection, the poster is replaced with an in-universe poster.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. That wizard came from the moon. Yeah. That's it. It's really cool how they like telegraph that, honestly.
Like, they just did that out of spite.
Yeah.
Like changing it out of spite. That's
But, like,
great.
It wouldn't be like for a couple years till we see Destiny, so they were working on that really early then. if it's in
Yeah.
here.
I wonder what kind of fan theories were circulating around when people saw that poster. Very interesting.
Who
And
knows?
those are all the fun facts I have for you today.
So I think we already like went into this a little bit, but like we're gonna just do our like normal discussion, like our likes and dislikes, favorite gun, level design, and you think it holds up. I know we went through some of this already. Like Gap, I think you said you like the SMG and stuff like that. Did you want to like comment on more stuff?
Yeah, on the SMG, I think the sound of it is pretty baller, and I like that you can scope in and attack enemies from it from afar when you couldn't do that with the normal SMG. I guess that's a trade-off for not being able to dual wield weapons in this game, which I think is very fair. The pistol, I love it. I love bipping enemies in the head, especially when you turn on Grunt Birthday Party. It's just so satisfying to hit those headshots on those grunts. Otherwise, all the weapons are the same. So as far as my favorite gun, I will give it to the Silenced SMG.
I think
I
I'm
like-
gonna have. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like the Covenant carbine still. That thing's badass.
I'll second that. Well, I like the SMG. It's a cool addition, like a new cool idea, honestly. And the pistol was really cool, like in a pinch to be like, all right, well, a few shots, let's finish him off in the head there. Yeah, the carbine still hits the right way. So I think that was my favorite weapon. Shout out to the salvo missile launcher when you're killing the banshees and
Oh, yeah.
stuff. That was really cool. You could rip it off that, and the turrets were kind of cool there. The Mauler is interesting concept. It's like a handheld pistol shotgun, right?
Yeah. That thing was
Oh yeah,
cool.
that thing's sick too. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, they obviously we've seen some of these, but like the Spiker is really cool still. It's got the really cool like
Yeah, it is.
like I
Disagree.
don't know, I just like it. It's like an auto pistol, right? Almost. So
The Spiker's dope, man.
the brute weaponry has really cool design, I think.
Because they'll have giant knives on them.
Right. It's all like, you know, it's savage, right? So much
You
like the
run towards
race,
him, shooting, and then you punch him.
right? You know, the grav hammer felt a little bit floaty. I didn't really after playing, I was spoiled by the latest grav hammers that we have for especially Infinite.
Oh,
I
that's a
think
hot
it's
take you
so
have
good,
there,
dude.
Steven.
Is it controversial then? Am I alone in that?
Yeah, people miss the grav hammer physics.
It doesn't
Yo,
play
grav
as well,
hammer's dope.
man. It doesn't play as well. Yeah, but we can get into that when the Infinite comes up. But I just think it's too floaty. But yeah, I understand why people liked it.
What about you, Eric? What gun do you like a lot?
You know what? Shout out to the SMG, yeah, cause I'll use that a lot more than the AR, to be honest. Just get up close and use that. Didn't really touch the shotguns at all, to be honest, either. Grav hammer is still great. I did like Steven said earlier, the salvo missiles during that one mission where you're just shooting down the banshees. Just spam that shit on anything that came into like the reticle. That thing was great. Covenant carbine's still great. Like Sam said, that thing is great. Didn't really use the pistol as much, to be honest, even though it is better.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. That was a precision weapon.
Hmm.
And it was so reliable in a pinch.
It didn't give me those Halo 1 feeling, pistol feelings, you know? That Halo 1 pistol is unmatched.
I want to talk about favorite level. Since there's no multiplayer, I guess. I just want to give a shout out to, I'm sorry, Eric, but New Mombasa Streets. I like that you can take any route you can. You can flank enemy positions if you really want to challenge them, and probably be rewarded by weapons and stuff inside the buildings. Because I was such a scaredy cat. I tried to fight as little as possible, so my ammo was running low a lot of the time. But yeah, I like the semi open world nature of New Mombasa Streets, and I wonder if it's gonna be a similar approach to Halo Infinite, because who knows if it's going to be a true open world or just semi, right?
I might not like New Mombasa Streets, but I do think it was like a pretty interesting idea. I think maybe they were, how do I explain it? I think maybe it's a good idea, just needed like more tuning to it, in my opinion, because it did take a while to get to places, especially when you're trying to do the missions. Like you're going from one end of the map to the other. Some doors would be locked if I remember correctly, and you'd have to go around and find the door you want to go to. But I did like how you can like summon the waypoint any moment you want. That like the having just that map system was a good idea. I liked how you could have like when you press like the left bumper or right bumper on the map screen, how you get the intel and stuff like that, and all the voice memos or whatever. I think those are pretty good. I just think it was like the open worldness of it that needed a little more work, and I'm interested to see like where Infinite goes with that. Because I think it's a good idea, just that needed some more refinement, in my opinion.
So shall we get into whether we think it holds up? Which I guess shouldn't be all that different from Halo 3.
I think reading the times, right? Definitely, I feel it did do some interesting things for the time. New Mombasa Streets, we have a more survival take on Halo, I guess you could say, than in previous games. It just felt weaker. Story-wise and some dialogue, I don't know if it super holds up in contemporary.
I'm with you there. The stories, or should I say the characters are pretty weak.
Yeah.
As charming as Buck is, he's in it for like a fraction of the game, and even still, he can't carry the entire game on his own.
Right.
Amazing shoulders.
I think compared to the other Halo games, the characters are good.
Bullshit.
Cortana's the only other character that like in the other games that I've been like, oh yeah, I really care about Cortana. Like
I was a little more attached to more of the characters in this game. Honestly, like
I rolled my eyes when like had their quips.
Okay,
I don't give a shit about Master Chief. Like I don't care if he dies. Like
why not?
I don't know. The game's never made me care about him.
cheap as a
barely-
cipher, dude. Like
I don't give a shit. Like when Romeo was stabbed, I actually gasped. I was like,
Oh my god.
I'm not even kidding. I was like, oh my god,
felt for
like
that too,
they're
man.
gonna fucking kill this bastard. They
Um,
didn't though. They saved him.
well, the
Those are cool.
interpersonal relationships though were pretty good if you put the quips aside, is what I'm saying. Like the dialogue did not really hold up that much, but like I don't know, like Sam said, I kind of felt when he got stabbed, like I was like, oh dang, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Do you guys feel like they're a team? Except for that one part when Romeo was like, oh, just leave Rookie behind. He's probably dead. But other than that,
cool part about like
I mean,
the
to be
mission
fair,
structure
Rookie's the
was
worst one. so-
right?
I mean,
The-
he's just a self-insert. That's basically what he is.
Yeah,
He's the new guy, but he also like trudged through the city by himself.
yeah.
So give him some credit.
I think
He's kinda
that
badass.
the open world stuff doesn't hold up because we've come a long way since then.
Huge.
Yeah, the shooting still feels pretty tight, I think. You know, we have come a long way for that too, but I just, as far as gameplay is concerned, I feel that's the strongest part of this whole package. You definitely got the feeling that you were a soldier. A lot of those elements still carry through, and gameplay wise, yeah, I think it does hold up. Story wise, character dialogue wise, maybe not. Interpersonal relationships and stuff, and the setting was cool too. So
Yeah, the atmosphere.
I think fitty.
Yeah, the
The atmosphere
atmosphere
is
is
amazing.
Great. Yeah, like I kind of hope they do something like I don't know, like a story DLC or something in Halo Infinite where it's like nighttime raining with like summer music, something. I don't know, because I have a feeling that Infinite is gonna go on for that's gonna be like the Halo as a platform kind of game, I guess. And I feel
Yeah.
like they would probably do some kind of story DLC or something. Who knows how it's gonna work out? But give me something like that for Infinite.
I was gonna say I agree with all you guys. I think it holds up. Because it's just Halo 3. So whatever Halo 3 does, Halo 3 ODST does as well. The radiance and the atmosphere really gives it another notch. Yeah, story not fantastic, but fine. Characters are charming, I guess. So they're fun to watch. So thumbs up for me.
You know, it doesn't hold up those subtitles. All I'm gonna say.
Damn it, man.
We get it. Oh
Alright.
yeah, subtitles did not come with the season 8 patch.
No.
They had to delay it for some reason. Come on.
Subtitles.
It's weird.
How hard is it?
But I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just saying, like, why the Master Chief Collection came out in 2014? Why isn't this still a thing? That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
rank it.
Rank it. Who wants to go first? Because honestly, I don't know how I feel about ODST.
Wait, what? Okay, what's our current ranking? It's Halo. Is it just Halo 3, 2, and 1? From
Yes.
to work?
They've gotten better every single time. And you know what? That's fucking continued because this is the best Halo game I've played.
I'm gonna put it beneath Halo 3 and above Halo 2.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's
I
so
agree.
yeah. This game is very unique, right? Obviously, for all the reasons we just said. But I cannot. I'm sorry. The story just can't beat the kind of scale and grandeur that Halo 3 has. I mean, it's the end of the trilogy. It's the end of the war, and has all these like big like world-ending stakes and also emotional stakes. But
Just
with,
because it has high stakes doesn't mean it's always better.
This is true. And that's food for thought because I think I'm going to put this still below Halo 3. Between Halo 3 and 2. I know, but
I thought we were gonna split the vote there.
I'll say this. This is where it loses points for me, Sam. I'll say I liked the story better. But it was just more personal, man. It just felt more personal to me. Then the multiplayer in this lacking.
I mean,
Like didn't add anything new. It's 3, right?
But that's by design.
yeah. Okay. So, fun fact, actually, when I had when I remember that story I told you guys about when I had a 360 or whatever, I bought all the old Halo games, whatever. One of those Halo games was ODST, and I popped it in, and I saw the multiplayer was exactly Halo 3's. So basically, it's just Halo 3 multiplayer.
It's
with
just a
Firefight,
story
yeah.
DLC then, right?
Yeah, so
Well-
if you like the campaign better, that means Halo ODST is the best one.
I can't remember if like it came with a map pack. I'm pretty sure it came with a map pack.
I think it did.
So
think it did.
yeah, so I guess technically it's like Halo 3's
Well,
multiplayer complete on a
and
disc,
we-
but like
We didn't touch on Firefight, but from
I've
all
watched-
intents and purposes, I don't know if it
Watch
added
on
a whole lot.
Firefight.
well, doesn't it get refined later in Reach and then Halo? Halo
Yeah.
5's Firefight. I don't.
Well, you gotta
Uh,
factor in all the other gameplay decisions that Reach made, which may not have been very good, but I'll talk about that later.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I still think it sits squarely between 3 and 2, if not just for, I don't know, just to break the tie up. But mostly, I just feel like it has the better, for sure, a better story than 2. And it was shorter than 2, which I appreciated. Like
Yeah.
it got in and out and respected your time more, I think.
As much as I
Um,
love 2, I think it does go on for
It's
a long
so
time.
long. 2 is
Yeah.
so long compared to the other
Um,
ones.
and you know, but some of the moments in 3, that's where it gets me. Some of the set pieces and moments were just so grand, like Gaff had mentioned, like just cool to see a lot of the threads being tied together, and so that's where it sits for me as number 2.
All
I
right.
think this game is more consistent than 3, which is why I would rank it number 1. But I am completely satisfied with number 2. I thought I was coming in here and gonna have to fight for it to be ranked higher than fucking the first game. So I'm pleasantly surprised that it's number 2.
Number 2 it is then.
Yep.
Right?
Guess so. So it's Halo 3 at number 1, then ODST at 2, then Halo 2 at 3, right?
3.
3. I'm losing track already. And then Halo Combat Evolved at number 5, right?
4.
No,
4.
Losing track, like I said. But yeah, that's it. Next episode, we're gonna be doing Halo Reach, which is
Halo Reach.
Bungie's final game in the Halo franchise.
The end of an era.
Yep. And this is the one game that I haven't finished. I played like at most 3 levels originally and then haven't gone back. So it's gonna be interesting to actually like finish this game.
I'm excited.
I can't wait because I think everything we liked about Halo 3 ODST, besides the open world, I think Halo Reach does even better in terms of atmosphere and how you feel about these very vulnerable characters.
Sneak peek.
Reach is a fan favorite, correct?
Or
Or is it one of those things where people hated it at first and then became
It's-
loved?
Oh, it was definitely hated at first, but then give it 5 years and the community just turns around on it.
For sure,
Yep.
sure. But yeah, until then, keep exploring them Halos.
The brutes. The bastards who put bombs on your buddies and killed millions of my people. They're digging a mighty big hole. You're gonna tell me exactly what they're looking for, and then you're gonna help me stop them.